Twitter. Twitter is the worst thing about the trading industry. I think that there's a lot of like clout chasing. I think people aren't being genuine at the moment. Gamble.
Is it gambling?
Hi, I'm Adam, originally from South Africa, moved over to Ireland about 5 years ago. I'm a part-time trader, recently got into prop firms, probably been in them for about the last year or so. Over the last 12 months, I managed to put together 100K in payouts, made significant progress in the last 2 months, moving my way over to full-time, but need to move a few things in place first. Trading strategy is very simple. Look, it's pretty much supply and demand. I'll look for clean areas where we had previous big order flow, and then I'll just look to ride the wave down from there. Primarily just trade US 30. Previously I would have been a bit all over the place with my pairs and things like that, but I think it's a lot easier once you start to clean things up and narrow your watch list down. Trading setup varies, because I'm still working full time, so it's a little bit difficult. So, I have my MT5 on my work laptop, my home laptop, on my phone. I just try and make sure that my charts are as clean as possible. But yeah, wherever I am on the go, whenever I can see a setup. Again, it'll vary, I have my kind of A setups, B setups, that sort of thing. I typically, and again, depends whether you're trading like challenges, you're trading funded account. I try and keep it under 2% per trade. There's obviously always days where you don't necessarily follow your own rules and things like that, but I think that the firms nowadays are going a long way to help us be more responsible traders with the kinds of rules that they're introducing. So try and keep it under 2%. Helpful websites. Obviously we always got to keep, notice of the news. So Forex Factory is one that I would check daily. There's a couple courses out there as well. The Forex Scalper on Instagram, check him out if you can. I think he was super useful for helping me on my journey. It's a very good course just in terms of delving deep into order flow, supply and demand, that sort of thing. So yeah, that was a massive, massive help for me, especially in my trading journey. Oh, varies day to day, man. I'm still working full time, like I said, still trying to make the move into full time trading. I probably can financially, but it's just, it's difficult in terms of the security and things like that. So for me, get up and go to work Monday to Friday in construction. So I'm a project manager. So it's, it's hard to say what the day looks like from one day to the next. But the nice thing is it affords me a lot of freedom to try and trade. So, typically I'll be out between meetings, things like that. I'll be looking at my market open times, and I'll try and set some time aside to look and see what setups are available to me on any particular day. Obviously everyone's read Trading in the Zone, that's a really popular one. I couldn't sit and read the whole book. I did the audio book, but you can read all these market related books that you want, but if you're not right here, you're not going to get it right. So, anything that helps you understand yourself a little bit better, that's what I'd be looking at. Oh, everyone knows Riz, everyone's watching them. Tori Trades, I think she puts out really good content. Anthony's World, I like his lifestyle content. He's not so much on the trading side of things nowadays, but those probably be my top three. Favorite Forex, I haven't traded Forex in a very long time, but when I did, I would have focused on GBPJPY. I think it gives long, clean moves. You can ride the wave down. So that's what I would have looked at when I was trading Forex previously. 200K. I think anything less, it's difficult. I think 200K gives you a really comfortable balance between making money, and I also think psychologically, once you get used to certain numbers, it's hard to move away from it. So I try and do all my challenges on about 200K. Gamble. Yeah, no, they all think it's gambling. Obviously, like my fiance, she understands it. My parents, they're a little bit, we're getting them over slowly, but people aren't really interested, to be fair. Unless it affects them, they're not too worried about it.
Is it gambling?
It can be. It definitely can be. Yeah, I think there's a lot of associated traits that go hand in hand with addiction and gambling and things like that. And I think if you don't treat it right and respect it, I think it's a slippery slope. Definitely can be. It's lines up and down on the screen that either cause you a lot of stress and a lot of pain or a lot of joy. That's all they need to know. I'd like try and keep like high tempo music. So, you know, I'd listen to like anything, like I love a good cover. So I'm like, always looking for like techno covers of popular songs or something like that. Like stuff that you hear in a club, really, kind of gym music. So yeah, I think it helps me keep up tempo, you know, when I'm trading, especially if I'm in a stressful trade. My diet, again, varies. You know, it hasn't been great over the last couple of years, but like I do try and keep generally fit. You know, we can all drop off the wagon and things like that, but yeah, no, good clean meals, chicken, rice, eggs, that sort of thing, but takeaways every now and then. Slow it down. You've got to realize that there's always going to be a next day and a next trade, and the immediacy of the trade that you're in right now is not going to matter in the big scheme of things. So if you have trust and confidence in your system, yeah, slow it down and just look at the bigger picture. It'll save you a lot of stress in your journey, for sure. No, I wouldn't say so. Like, I think I'm a fairly intuitive trader, so I'm not, you know, like, my criteria will differ depending on what the day looks like, depending on the volume, where it's at. So I wouldn't say that I have any specific rituals because, you know, I'm not necessarily saying to myself, right, okay, in 10 minutes, if this hits here, I'm going to enter this trade. You know, it depends on the day. It depends on how the price is moving. So no, I wouldn't say anything specific. I think that there's a lot of Twitter. Twitter is the worst thing about the trading industry. I think that there's a lot of like clout chasing. I think people aren't being genuine at the moment. You know, I think that a lot of people out there who are even real traders and very good traders kind of lose themselves a little bit in trying to chase what's new and what's relevant and put content out there. So yeah, I think that we need to get more like kind of raw, real traders telling their story. Tough one. I like to try and remind myself because I struggle a lot with like destination addiction, you know, like in the sense that like I always think that my goal is going to be at the next car, the next place that I live in, you know, that sort of thing. So I think like just to kind of remind yourself that life is a journey and not a destination. I know it sounds like a cheesy white girl quote, but that's what I'm going to go with because I think it's very relevant. I think trying to think that they can make it overnight, you know, like so many people will come to me when they do kind of have an interest or see, you know, the kind of money you're making and that sort of thing, and they think, oh geez, like how can I make this? Like, come on, teach me how to do this, you know? And like you got to try and slow them down and remind them, like I've been doing this for 4.5 years, you know, like I've made all the mistakes, but they want to, yeah, make 10K in a month from day one, you know? Trying to buy a house, which is remarkably hard at the moment. Yeah, no, at the moment it's saving for a wedding, it's trying to buy a house. It's nothing over the top. You know, I wouldn't really spoil myself. Bought myself a watch recently, actually, which was great. But yeah, no, house savings.